We're in the laws of acquisitions and gifts. We're going to learn something very interesting now. Back in the day, how when someone got married and about the gifts that would take place. Yeah, Daniel, let in, please. So, chapter 7, halacha number 1. It is an accepted custom in most countries that when a man marries, his friends and acquaintances send him money to support the expenses he must undertake on behalf of his wife. Wow, amazing, huh? Look how people were back in the day. Yeah, that was the gift that you gave, right? But it's very interesting, this whole idea. It's not something that happens today. Then the friends and acquaintances who sent him this money come and eat and drink with the groom during all or part of the 7 days of the wedding celebration. Right? So, hey, these are the people who are going to come. They're going to celebrate. They gave money. It was their entry ticket, so to speak, Everything should be done according to the accepted local custom. Bottom line, though, is you do buy the local custom. Today, we don't have this custom that people give money so that way the groom can now pay for whatever needs to be paid for, right? It's different now. The money that he sent is called shushvinus. Shushvinus, it's called. And the people who send the money and then come and eat and drink with the groom are called shushvinin. Okay? Shushvinus is not an outright gift, right? In other words, it's a gift with strings attached, as we'll see. Interesting. For it's plainly obvious that the person did not send a colleague 10 dinarim, the intent that he eat and drink a zuzah's worth, right? 10 dinarim is, it's like, is what's the difference is, I don't know. He sent him, let's say, $500 and he only ate $50 worth. Right. So in other words, it wasn't to pay so he would be able to come and pay for his, for his meal, if you will. He sent him much more. Right. Therefore, he sent him money solely because his intent was that when he would marry, he would send him money as he has sent him. So this is a way that you support each other to make a wedding, right? It comes to making a wedding, there's a huge expense. So if I gave, monies to other people to get married, right? The intent was that they'll give to me when I get married. That's the idea. So that lessens the burden of a person having to make a wedding. Therefore, if the ender marries a woman and the recipient does not return the shushvina, the sender may lodge a legal claim against the recipient and expropriate money from him. So if I sent, I thank God I'm married, but if someone sent, Reuven sent to Shimon money, Shimon got married, and now Reuven's getting married, and Shimon doesn't send the money. The whole system here was predicated on the idea to lessen for each person the burden of marriage, of the cost of, the burden of the cost of marriage. So if Reuven gave Shimon, now it's Reuven's getting married and Shimon doesn't give, he has a legal claim because this is the whole idea of shushvinas. Again, this does not exist today. I mean, I don't know anywhere it does, but interesting idea. Halacha number 3. He cannot lodge a claim against him unless he marries in the same way as he did. So not so simple. Got to be the same way. What's implied? If Reuven married a maiden and Shimon sent him shushvinas, and Shimon married a widow, Shimon cannot demand that he return the Shishvinas, for he will tell him, I will return to you only for a maiden, as you gave me back in the day, because a second marriage is not like the first marriage, right? First marriage is all pomp and ceremony. Second marriage is not meant to be that. If both sides are second marriage, if one side isn't, that's different, right? Conversely, if the giver sent a recipient shishvin for marriage of a widow, he cannot demand that it be returned for him for marriage of a maiden. Right, because let's say he did send for him for the second marriage. You're sending less. Because you don't make the same kind of wedding a second time. And halachically, that's the way, right? You don't do that. I mean, again, people can do whatever they want, and people do whatever they want. We're talking about from a halachic perspective, right? You don't do it the same. So, point being, oh, excuse me. The point being that if you sent for the lesser, now this guy's getting married to a maiden, he needs more. He can't make that claim. But I think he can make the claim if he would send at least the amount that he sent him for a widow. Halacha number 4. If Reuven made a large public reception, while Shimon made a modest private affair, or Reuven married modestly and Shimon made a public affair, he cannot lodge a claim against him. But he can tell him, I will not do for you anything less than I did for me. So again, the complaint will be, so he's got to do at least minimally, what was done. Very fascinating. I wish I could stay, but I gotta go. All right, folks.